What's going on, guys? Johnny on the track, back with another video. Ton of stuff today, like literally a ton of news. Chase Elliott suspended for this weekend's race at Gateway. Obviously, we have this weekend's race at Gateway. Corey LaJoie will drive the number 9 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet for Chase Elliott, and Carson Hocevar from the Truck Series, and also been racing in the Xfinity Series recently as well, will take on Corey LaJoie's number 7 Chevrolet. So Hocevar on the field, LaJoie in a better ride. This is going to be a very interesting race. I already think this track can play as a wild card for kind of maybe one of those shock winners, to be honest with you. Great race last year. One of the most entertaining race of the year last year. Kyle Busch and Joey Logano battled for an overtime win, and Logano beat out Kyle Busch. We had the antics of Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain. Really, this was kind of the really birth of the whole Ross Chastain feud last year with several drivers. So a lot of storylines coming into this weekend. I think if you are a NASCAR fan, this is going to be a really fun week. I think tempers are going to be high from what we saw last week, even with Elliott suspended. But look for Hendrick Motorsports to be solid and maybe kind of avenge, if you will, their teammate being suspended. Look for Hamlin to rebound. Maybe Hamlin comes through and steals something. And then, of course, short flat tracks. New Hampshire is another one. Kind of always a wild card. So that's why I feel like Gateway could really surprise some people, and we could get, a winner that nobody expected going into this week. So with that, let's get into some bets. Man, I have a lot of different people that I'm kind of focusing in on, but I'm going to start with a guy that I think can be this wild card win that I speak of. I also think you can put him top 5, top 10. I would just look at him overall, and that's Chase Briscoe. This year, Briscoe has been pretty elite at these kind of tracks. We saw him late in the runs at the All-Star race, short flat track. He was good at Phoenix. He was good at Richmond. He's been pretty putrid everywhere, like literally everywhere else. But Chase Briscoe on these shorter and flatter tracks has been good. And this is where he and SHR have really been able to make some noise. They weren't good at Charlotte. They got better as the day went on. Good thing there was 600 miles, because if that was a 300-mile race, yikes. But this is where, like I said, SHR has seen flashes. We've seen flashes from them. You look at Martinsville, you look at Richmond and Phoenix and these sort of tracks where this team has showed some speed. So I like Briscoe maybe as your underdog. I haven't seen the odds. They haven't released any odds yet, but I always release on, or I should say record and release these videos on Tuesday. So I wanted to stick to the schedule. Number 2 bet, Christopher Bell. Maybe honestly, probably my number 1, because Briscoe's more my underdog, but I feel confident that Briscoe is going to have a good run this weekend. Christopher Bell, 3rd fastest overall this year at this style track. I would say don't overthink this pick. There's a reason he's incredible at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. This is just sort of his style of racing. He's really good in late in runs. So I think if we get some green flag time, watch for Christopher Bell to make some noise on this style track and get him ready for New Hampshire, which he always has circled. Apologies for that noise there. Let me turn this off as we continue to go through some bets. All right. Winner number 3, Ross Chastain. I think Ross overall is due. He is a guy that I do not have making the playoffs. I had him missing the playoffs, but as I've seen this year, I've seen the speed. It's been consistent. I think this is a track that Ross can get it done at. He had a good car last year, but obviously got tangled with the wrong dogs in Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott. I think revenge is here for Ross. Not revenge at any of the drivers, but revenge for himself and kind of showing that, he had a good car and he kind of deserved to be up front and get a better finish last year. So Ross Chastain, I think, is a good guy to bet on here. And then I think you're safe that no, it's not Larson. No, it's not Byron. It's actually the team, Hendrick, to win the prop bet Hendrick. I think it's safe. They've been the class of the field at this style track. So I feel like I said, this race could be a wild card, but I feel like your safe bet can be Hendrick to win this thing. That covers you with Larson. It covers you with Bowman. Sorry, Larson, Byron, and Bowman as well, but more Byron and Larson. All right, top five. I like Bowman. I think Bowman is going to have a return to his elite form that he was showing at the beginning of the season. Like I said, Hendrick overall has been 1-2 with Byron and Larson at these sort of tracks this year. I feel like he's got his feet underneath him. And I just feel like you're down one stud if you're Hendrick, right? No Chase Elliott this week. So you've got Larson, Byron, and now Bowman back in form, I think. And these cars are going to should be the class of the field. I think Bowman is not there to get that win. Although I will probably love his odds. So maybe I might take that, but Bowman top five, I think, is a really good bet. Two top tens, Michael McDowell, Eric Almirola. Almirola, going back to the Briscoe sort of thing, SHR, proven to run well with the big dogs at this style track. Almirola had a really, really good run, one of his best runs all of last year at this track. I expect him to contend. I expect if you see him run well here, there's your cue. That's the New Hampshire, maybe a New Hampshire wild card, a track that he's won before. These tracks are very, very similar. And Almirola absolutely loves racing at New Hampshire. And like I said, had a really, really good fast car and a great run at this track last year. And McDowell, another guy, great run, led laps here. He had like a lot of good runs last year at road courses, but I think on ovals, this was Michael McDowell's best race. He hasn't been as a, front row as a team, hasn't been that fast at this style track this year. But I do feel like with Michael McDowell coming back to this track where he has a lot of confidence at, I think he can give good feedback because he knows the track well. He remembers, what worked for him. So I think he can give his crew chief good feedback. I think they can make some strategy calls. Tire wear, not really an issue here. So if you're going to make an aggressive move, like McDowell tried to do at the 600 by restarting up front, maybe it's here. And McDowell can get something done. One more guy quickly, Kyle Busch. I don't know. I just put his name down. I don't know what the bet is, but I want you to target Kyle Busch. He blew this one last year. Obviously didn't get it done in an overtime restart, lost this thing to Logano. I feel like that sticks in a guy like Kyle Busch's head, losing to Logano at a track like this where he had a really fast car. So again, I don't know what the bet is. Action Network, Johnny on the Track. That's where you can find all my bets, post-practice, post-qualifying, post this show. Action Network, Johnny on the Track, and of course at JOTT_podcast on Twitter. That's where you'll find this bet. That's where you'll find any additional bets. But right now, I really only gave you 3 winners as drivers. So maybe it's Kyle Busch, the winner that we add. I'm not sure. Like I said, I do like the Hendrick prop bet to be safe. But I think there's a lot here. I am very confident. Love this style track to bet on. You guys know what I did at New Hampshire last year. I know what I'm going to do at New Hampshire again this year. So this is just good prep for me. Gateway, here we go. Let's have a weekend. As always, like I said, Johnny on the Track, Action Network. For any bets, post-practice, post-qualifying, and at JOTT_podcast on Twitter. Same thing. If you're first-time listener and viewer, definitely subscribe for more content like this video. It helps me go, it goes a long way for the channel. And always want to hear your feedback in the comments to know who you guys are betting on. Let's have a weekend. Thanks, guys.